Thank you all for coming this evening. I'm Shelly Kingsley. I'm the District Coordinator for District 5 in Henderson County, North Carolina, and as you can tell from my accent, I'm a native. And okay, we have to welcome these people into our party. We always call everybody a few days before the election and say, we really hope you're going to go out and vote. We want you to vote Democratic. Thanks, bye. And then we call them again in another couple of years. Well, you know, that obviously isn't working. What we need to do is to bring them in now and tell them there's a place for you here with us. What do you like to do? Do you like to make phone calls? We can have you making phone calls until your fingers fall off. Do you like to knock on doors and meet people? There's 17,000 Democrats in Henderson County. Get started. You know, there's things you can do at the office. There's things that they can do everywhere. We can't just expect people to go out and vote for us because we ask them to. You know, we have the picnic. We wish that there would be 1,000 people at the picnic. We need to call them and invite them. While they're there, you know, would you like to volunteer with us? You can work at the Apple Festival. You can, you know, whatever you want to do. But it's not enough what we're doing now. If we're going to win against Tom Apodaca with Chris Dixon, that's going to be a really, really, really uphill battle. Apodaca is the incumbent, you know, and people just, they don't know anything about Chris. It's up to us to tell them. You know, he can go out and he can talk to us, and what we learn from him, we have to go forward and tell other people. He can't be everywhere. He's Schuler. He's part of the Democratic Party, and we have to help get him elected. Some of us are not as excited about that as others. But the fact remains that he is our Democratic candidate, and that's what we need to do. So we go home and we call our friends and we say, why don't you come over and we'll have a precinct meeting. Call some of your friends and bring them over too. Come to the picnic. Come to the Apple Festival. And we just keep reaching out. You know, this is the first rock we've thrown in the pond. And we're the first ripple in the lake. We have to get all these ripples out to everybody. The more people we can contact, the better chance we're going to have. We're all here for a reason. You know, I'm here, I have children, I have grandchildren. I want things to be better for them than they are now. Everybody has a reason. Whatever that is what needs to motivate you to go forward and to contact people. Any questions? Jim, you can stop now.
Well, I would like you to just tell me what
well,
you would say to, if you were on the phone, to someone and they said, well, what's so great about this guy?
Well, Tom Apodaca is the Republican. We have lots of information that Chris has found out about him. Mm-hmm. But the biggest thing is that the people in this area have lost a lot of jobs. Well, part of the job of our representatives is to keep jobs here and to bring in new ones.
So we can cite the 2 bills that Tom Apodaca didn't vote for example.
Yes,
mm-hmm.
and there are other instances, but at this point, people are concerned they don't have jobs, or you know, everything kind of works together. You know, if the plant closes, the people can't, you know, go out and have dinner, then the restaurant suffers. They can't go shopping, so the grocery store suffers. Then those places have to lay people off, and it continues. You know, and that has to stop. They have to bring people back here and get them to work. You know, whether it's a Republican that does that or a Democrat, the Republicans probably aren't going to do that. Yes. Rose.
Are we gonna have this, information in the office
Sure.
about Chris and what he stands for and about,
He had some flyers there tonight, and I'm sure that he would be more than happy to leave a stack of them in the office.
Okay, I saw that too.
Yeah.
Okay.
I meant to get one of these bumper stickers.
We can get some of those. I'll bet we could get one cheap.
are you an active member?
I was. I'm not sure how active I am at the moment.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, because if you're an active member, it'll cost $2.
I think I can talk him into one. Free,
Out of
as
one.
treasurer.
Out of one,
What?
out of one, not.
Out of one or into one?
I'm gonna sell you one for $1.
Oh, you get it cheaper from him, from Don.
Does anybody have any suggestions, any ideas of something new, how they can do this when they get back to their precinct? Go ahead, Don.
We're talking about, why should I be a Democrat?
Well, because you are an intelligent man.
I'm serious about it. In this community, I would think that we would more emphasis on Chris. This is what he's doing, here's his program, this is what he believes in, here's a whole list of what Tom has done. How does this fit how does this help you? How does this guy over here, who's been in there for years, not been of service to you? And then it just so happens now, this guy is now, well, he's also a Democrat. So
Well-
the thing is, it comes down to the personalities here rather than.
Well, and yeah, I have not gotten into Apodaca's voting record. Chris has. He has, all the money he's taken from out of state special interest groups, from PACs, but I was born and raised a Democrat. I believe that we should have some kind of regulations and not let the banking industry go wild and not let Wall Street go crazy, because obviously that is the wrong solution. It almost drove us right into the wall.
So that goes for any of the candidates. The candidates are the people that we should be voting for.
Absolutely.
The more we know about the candidates, what are these people going to do to help us? How does this help me?
That's exactly right. And that's what we need to educate ourselves on, because other people are going to ask us. When we call, someone, especially unaffiliated voters, they have no
They have no idea who
loyalty.
they're voting for.
Yeah, they have no party loyalty. So, before we pick up the phone, we're going to have some kind of an information, or have someone that will be able to talk to this person, find out what the issue is, and have someone get back to them. But really do get back to them. Don't just say, I'll have somebody call you, and then,
Well, when we make calls for the picnic, we should also tell them that Chris will be there, right?
Oh, yeah.
absolutely. If they have
And
questions.
they can come and hear his
Come and meet him.
platform and.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. People love to meet candidates.
Or, question on the picnic, are we going to have Eileen Marshall's Western representative, that
No.
girl from Ashland?
Yes, at the picnic, yes.
At the picnic, okay.
Hopefully, well, I should say hopefully. If
Yeah.
nothing goes wrong, we'll have the representative.
Because
Yes.
she's dynamite.
Yeah.
So, does anybody have any ideas that other precincts can use to involve their voters?
Well, you asked a question about why should I be a Democrat? I don't think in the history of political politics, there's a clear-cut differential between the Republican Party and the Democratic Party. People get all confused because, both parties have their personal issue problems and that sort of stuff. But basically, I belong to a country club. And most of the people are Republicans. And it's an upscale community, and there's people with an awful lot of money there, and they're all Republicans. And I sit at the bar, and I say, the party of those people that are working behind that bar in the kitchen should all be Democrats without question. Because that's who we represent, which is the majority of the people in this country. The people on the other side, the former stockbrokers, the attorneys that make $1,000 an hour and those sort of people, they don't understand what we're about. It's pretty clear. So I don't know how to turn that into trying to influence somebody, but in my own mind, it's very clear of what the Republican agenda is and what the Democratic agenda is. It's just crystal clear as
I always
that
tell
bar.
people I'm too poor to be a Republican.
But
I'm too poor to be a Republican.
yeah, exactly.
I work for a living.
I think you see these things in the votes. If
Yeah.
you follow the votes and you look at Burr's voting record, for example.
It's so terrible.
Okay, Republican Burr, no, 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 and it goes on forever. It's always no.
Okay,
With
this is Republican.
Kay
Do
Hagan,
you know
you're
that?
getting yeses, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
But do you know that being a Republican? Have you checked that out? All this thing?
I don't, what's,
Well, I'm saying that, I'm talking to a Republican person now here, for example.
you're talking to a Republican?
Yeah.
You might as well bang your head against a wall.
Okay, that's the problem.
Well,
They-
you
they-
need to talk to Democrats so that they will get to the polls.
It's the independents, it's people that are not sure, that
different.
don't, you know, that don't know what's going on, and they need, you know, some information. Well, that information is in the voting records.
Yes.
But I also
It
think,
seems to me that whether you're Democrat or Republican is not the issue. Okay? One of the concerns that I have is what is the Democratic platform and what is the Republican platform and what's the difference between them? I don't know Chris from Adam, but my wife last night went to the Democratic Party, the Republican Party, and pulled it off an email and websites, and said, you know, when you look at those, the Democratic Party looks pretty weak in comparison. Okay. The other thing, I think Mr. Goodman here made a very important point. When we talk about why I should vote for anybody, we need to have some statistics and some information and understanding of what the guy is and what he's been doing.
Absolutely.
And unless we have that, we can't talk to somebody about which way it might be more beneficial. The fact that you're a dyed-in-the-wool Democrat doesn't mean a thing to me. I could say the same thing, but it doesn't mean anything in terms of getting the vote. Particularly, and Rosa just started to talk about that, I think one of the concerns I have is getting the non-affiliated
Right, exactly.
on board. To get them on board, you've got to show them that, to a couple of things. Right now, they're very disheartened by what's going on with Obama in many instances. But let's not talk about Obama, because if we do, we get into violence.
But they're going to.
Let them talk about it. They can talk their hearts out. You can listen. You can dialogue with them. You do not have to get into an argument with them. And particularly if you're going to knock on doors. You don't get into fights or arguments about Obama or anybody else. You hear them, you can say, okay, I'm going to take that back to the Democratic Party, and we can talk more about it. I think there's got to be a concerted effort to understand what this is all about versus what Apodaca is all about, and any other thing we do down the pipe.
And I agree completely. You know,
We have a crippled man.
Did a great hunchback.